We are here with Visma Lisa Bike and we are going to take a look at Wout van Aert's race setup for Sunday's Paris-Roubaix. But first, a massive thanks to Vittoria for sponsoring this part of the video and allowing us to come out here and take a look at the bike. You'll see their Corsa Pro tyres all over the racing this weekend, but watch out, if it rains you might see a Corsa Control. Well, we are here with Jenko Drost. You are the performance manager for Visma Lisa Bike, and we have here Wout van Aert's actual race bike. Contrary to some of the photos that I have seen from other recons, he's not going to be on the S5, sticking with the Soloist. What's the reason for that?
Reason for that, Soloist is the best mix between aerodynamics and comfort. For sure, you need some comfort on the cobbles. The Solo is just the better bike for cobbles. Just a more all-round bike. Of course, in terms of aerodynamics, it's a good bike. Of course, not as good as the S5, which is a pure aero racer. But for this bike, it's handling on cobbles is just it's a little bit more all-round comfort, and would be a better choice for the cobbles.
Because that is a very difficult balance to strike, isn't it? Like with Roubaix, we're seeing average speeds nudging over 50 kilometers per hour, but also the cobbles, Carrefour de l'Arbre and Mons-en-Pavel are savage stones.
Yeah, I think in terms of aerodynamics, you probably would be on the most aero racer you have. But on the other end, you also need to survive the cobble section. And with the Soloist, we just have a better balance between comfort and aerodynamics than on the S5. So that's why, actually only for this race we are sticking with the Soloist.
And speaking of comfort and being able to tune your bike towards the cobbles, but also the tarmac. One of the key additions that Wout is making to his bike this year, the Graava system with the Kaps, hubs. So he's got them front and rear for tyre pressure adjustment. How's he going to be using them?
He has the sprint shifter in his handlebar drops, which enables him to go lower or higher. We set some presets, so he has 3 presets in his system to choose out. So when pressing the left button, the system will go to a lower pressure, which is direct, and pressing the right button, he can go to a higher pressure, which takes I would say 1 bar per kilometer more or less to pump it up again. The system is using the energy from the rider itself, which of course is at that point is a bit of a negative. But on the other end, your competitors are riding at a low pressure, so there is actually not really a negative. Because you will be getting higher than them.
I've seen something in the region of around 4 watts when the system is charging up. Would that be accurate?
I think it's closer to 7.
Okay.
Depending really, of course, also, it's closer to 7. The speed of pumping depends on the speed, how fast he goes, how faster it pumps. If you're in the wheels and you go fast, then for sure it will be less than 1K. I think it's close to 7 watts. Only keeping in mind that at some point you will be at a higher pressure where your rolling resistance becomes less. So then it's of course levels out to something better.
And in terms of the specifics of his setup, what tyre pressures is Wout going to be hitting the cobbles at? Or is that secret knowledge?
Well, that's I would say we keep that within our ranks. It's always a nice tricky question, but I think I think the main difference you can make is tire pressures. We really want to keep that within. I think within the teams we will be going from around 3 to up to 4.5 more or less. Depending really per rider and weight class.
And we saw yesterday in the recon of the Arenberg sector, there was a tricky moment, we all had our hearts in our mouths when it crashed. Has there been any changes to the setup after that, or or was that just a cobble moment?
Well, pressure-wise, we have multiple options to choose from. I think we can say that the pressure at that point was too low. So it's a good. We're not testing things in a recon, but I think it's a good. I would say moment to remember that we know Arenberg is that severe that we probably need to go a setting higher in Arenberg than on other sectors. So I think it's it's a good lesson. That's why we do recons. But of course you don't want to end it up like this. But what it is.
And speaking of the tyres, Vittoria Corsa Pro tyres here. We've got a 32 on the rear and 32 on the front. Is that going to check? Like, is Wout going to do a bike swap from the start, maybe around 70 kilometers in?
No, actually not. Also because of the systems, we are able to ride at the pressure we want in the first 100k.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just pump it up as much as possible and enjoy the ride. It's and also we are not really fond of planning a change because you never know what happens, and if for some reason you are not able to do your scheduled plan, and then racing already starts, then you're on the wrong bike or the wrong setup when hitting the cobble. So we just typically we don't schedule for something like that.
But so much of this race is about tyre choice, and Sunday there looks to be a little bit of a chance of rain. Would these tyres be swapped out for something like the Corsa Control in the event of rain, or are we not too sure yet?
I would say no. Also because we are able to run it a little bit lower. With the lower, typically I think in rain we will probably go a little bit lower in pressure. So now we are able to do without swapping tires, I would say. Also, this tire is also phenomenal in rainy conditions. So I would not say there is a need to swap tires for that event.
And final one on the tyres, any inserts in there or just sealant?
Sealant, no, that's true. We probably will glue the tires, so they're fixed to the rim.
With tubular glue, or?
Yeah, more or less on the outside.
Okay.
But we're not running inserts.
Okay, amazing. Wout seems to me to be a rider that's quite interested in the technical side of the sport, his setup and everything. I mean, he's a friend of the BikeRadar podcast, apparently, and you don't listen to that if you're not interested in tech. So is he a rider that really kind of brings that cyclocross interest in tech over to the road?
Well, of course, Wout is really interested in tech. I think when you're riding at the highest level, you want to have the highest level of components, which means you probably will have an interest in technology and innovation. But for sure, I think from cyclocross you have a lot of feeling for tire pressures, tires, etc. I think for sure that's a benefit, and that's expertise bringing into the road for sure.
And finally, one thing that we've seen him use quite a bit in the past, especially with Sanremo, is a 1x Drivetrain. Could you take us through his SRAM setup?
It will be a full Sram Red setup. With a 1x chainring, the 54, and on the back probably riding the 1030 cassette.
Spicy gears, big gears.
He liked the small steps in the back, so that's why focusing on the 1030, and 54 1x is just perfect setup for this race. I'm always like, if you don't need a front derailleur, then don't take it with you, because it's just a matter of weight, and it's another component which could break in Roubaix. Then the 1x setup is like dummy proof, I would say.
I don't know about you, but I certainly need a a front derailleur when I go out for a ride. But in its place, we've got a wolf tooth chain stopper. I wouldn't want to call that a chain catcher, because it seems to be
we
really
actually
guiding.
call it a chain guide, I would say. In Roubaix it's for sure needed, so that's why we put it on the bike. We have a really aero version of it, which also makes the aero game a little bit working. So it's just perfect catcher, or guide actually. But it also doesn't guide it, so actually it's
Absolutely. Moving up to the front end, obviously with the S5 you've got the fully integrated cockpit. This one is using more of a traditional two-piece setup, but away from all of that, we've got a very nice little sticker on here. What's the story behind this?
Well, you can better ask Wout himself, I think. It's from the Belgian program, I think, Masked Singer, where he was apparently a squirrel. Then now he brought some nice stickers to put on his bike. So yeah, it's good motivation, I think.
And what do you reckon? Has he got a career in singing after after the bike riding?
No, yeah.
No comment.
No comment.
This is actually quite a traditional setup at the front end. Obviously that stem is pretty long, but I'm not seeing a front end that is super narrow.
No, yeah. Wout really likes the forehand handlebar setup. Gives him good, let's say comfort in the drops, but also enough leverage when sprinting in the drops. So yeah, I think probably a narrower position in the hoods could be interesting, but on the other end, when sprinting, I think narrow is not the best. So it's of course in terms of aerodynamics, but in terms of handling, I think this is it's what he wants.
And as a final note, kind of on the traditional side of things, the crank's 172.5. We've seen a lot of riders going down to, well, what's Jonas on? A super custom tiny setup, but Wout sticking with quite a traditional crank length.
Yeah, it's a matter of rider. Well, yeah, of course there is a benefit for riding shorter cranks. Really depends also in terms of rider you are. If you're climbing a lot, then you probably would be good off with some smaller to maintain a good position. But it really depends per rider. We've tested different things, and it's up to the rider what they want. We're not forcing shorter cranks onto them, so it's really what they like.
Amazing. Janko, thank you so much for chatting to us, and I hope to see this on the top step of the podium come Sunday.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that was a super interesting chat. Thanks to Janko for being so open and honest with us, apart from the tyre pressures, obviously. But I think two things stood out for me. Firstly, the very traditional setup. Really love to see that. Secondly, the fact that the Wiesmann mechanics are gluing the tyres to the rims to help them stay on in the event of a flat on something like the Arenberg. That's amazing. If you want to see another video all about the cobble bikes, then why not check out me getting absolutely battered by some cobbles in the video with Van Riesel. But first, I must again say thank you to Vittoria for sponsoring this video. That was quite a jump.